Listening to WECB, the underground sound of Emerson College. I'm Casey.
I'm Izzy.
And I'm Sadie. And you're listening to Video Killed the Radio Star.
Each week, we pick one of our favorite movies and we give it a soundtrack. This week's movie is, drumroll please, Eyes Wide Shut. Last movie of the semester, and my favorite Christmas movie, our official Christmas movie for this year, Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick's last film.
Before he croaked.
Before certain events transpired, which we will jump into Eyes Wide Shut and also Stanley Kubrick's death after this song. Our first song is Screwed, featuring Zoe Kravitz by Janelle Monáe. That was Screwed by Janelle Monáe and Zoe Kravitz. And let's go over to Izzy with our letterbox description.
Yes. So Eyes Wide Shut, directed by Stanley Kubrick, 1999. Tagline, Cruise, Kidman, Kubrick, which is kind of so true.
Says everything.
It's all you need.
Says everything. After Dr. Bill Harford's wife, Alice, admits to having sexual fantasies about a man she met, Bill becomes obsessed with having a sexual encounter. He discovers an underground sexual group and attends one of their meetings, and quickly discovers that he is in over his head. Which, sure. Yeah. That's about what happens. I feel like Cruise, Kidman, Kubrick does a better job of summing it all up.
Yeah.
But but this is Stanley Kubrick's last film, starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as Bill and Alice Harford.
They're kind of playing themselves.
Which they are kind of playing themselves because this was when they were married.
And not that long after they were
not married.
Divorced. Yeah. Which is actually, I need to go back in time and be a fly on the wall during the making of Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh,
and also
baby.
just and maybe just like a little worm inside Nicole Kidman, just knowing what happens, what happened on Eyes Wide Shut, what happened before when they went home.
Yeah.
What happened after she got out of that divorce attorney's office where she just came alive. Do you guys know? Guys know the picture?
I know the picture.
I put it in the collage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to Eyes Wide Shut. Back to the movie at hand.
Well, this is a very interesting movie because it is Stanley Kubrick taking on such a kind of taboo thing of talking about sex and corruption in Hollywood and it's kind of in these very specific rich circles, but also obviously, of course,
it's an allusion to.
There's also all of the actual real world parallels of what's happening in this movie and the real world lives of these actors.
Tom Cruise, infamously a person with normal interests.
Yeah.
Who is part of normal groups.
Yeah. Well, we'll perhaps get to that later on. But so this movie starts out with Bill and Alice at a party.
Wait. I can't remember what his name is.
Guy who comes up later.
Guy. Super rich guy who has this huge extravagant Christmas party at his wild mansion every single year.
And they get a little drunk.
They drink.
They might be drinking champagne.
What?
Our next song might be.
Our next song is Champagne by Marina.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that. Ooh, spoilers. That last song was Me and My Husband by Mitski. And before that, we had Champagne by Marina. So we talked about the champagne is they're at the party.
Yeah.
They're both.
Nicole Kidman specifically is very drunk.
And
they're both kind of flirting with other people.
Yep.
But then Tom Cruise, someone he knows comes up to him and is the guy who owns the house, wants to see you upstairs. He needs your help with something. And so Tom Cruise goes upstairs. He's a doctor. And it turns out that girl,
sex worker.
Who, it's not his boss, just guy whose house he's
I don't even know what their relationship is to each other per se. They're both like they're both rich people who are at this party.
Yeah, they were having sex and she took some drugs. Specifically, it's like a speedball or something. Yeah. And she OD'd. And so he's like, so Tom Cruise like gets her. Yeah, like gets her to like, and it's like, oh, okay. So, and it's a very startling scene because we're in this party and then he goes upstairs and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think that like maybe, and I know I like when I told my mom that we were doing this movie, she was like, I remember this being like incredibly like taboo and sort of like very out there for the time. Yeah. She was like, it's probably like compared to stuff that's out there now, it's more like tame. But for this movie, it's like you think, oh, the worst thing that's probably going to happen is like they like cheat on each other, maybe like at this party because like, you know, Nicole Kidman's dancing very closely with some guy who clearly like wants to sleep with her. And then like Tom Cruise is flirting with these two girls, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, surprise, there is something darker and stranger afoot.
Yeah.
And then me and my husband, so they get back from this party. This is like, I mean, maybe, you know, average night of me and my wife in my 30s. We go to this Christmas party and we go back to the house
and we
smoke weed. And then my wife picks a fight with me and then ends up telling me that she had sexual fantasies about someone else while we were on vacation. And then I get so upset and I
go crazy for the rest of the movie.
And I proceed to go crazy for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. And that's basically what happens.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie.
So end of show.
Yeah. So end of the show, basically.
But Tom Cruise is like, I gotta see what this whole sex thing is all about.
Yeah.
Like,
what's
going on?
This whole sex, but not with my wife.
Not with my wife.
Yeah. If she can do that, if she can imagine having sex with another man, and he's so scandalized, he's like, I can't, because she's like, you can't even like fathom the thought that I would ever, and he's like, yeah, because I like completely trust you because you're my wife and you would like never have thoughts about another man. And she's like, okay,
newsflash, actually
a year ago,
actually that's where you're dead wrong. Tom Cruise, I mean Bill, whatever.
Harford.
Well, it is
my
Tom
wife,
Cruise.
not my wife, my husband in this movie and in real life.
How could anybody not be thinking about Tom Cruise all the time?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, and perhaps after this conversation, he's a little bit broken.
One might say that he is broken.
He does kind of snap, and not in like the good way. Like snap. Like,
hey, what's the next song?
The next
Sadie?
song is "Broken" by Tears for Fears. That was Sextown USA by Sparks. And before that, we had Broken by Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
So
when Tom Cruise goes a little bit crazy, he ends up deciding that he's going to go to this big sex party that his friend told him about.
Yeah.
And
he has to wear a mask. He has to dress up.
He has to go to Rainbows, the costume shop.
Like, I don't know. It's he goes to some type of costume shop and he's like, I need this costume, and the guy's like, okay. And then
he's like, don't worry, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm a doctor. I need this. And then we get another one of those like moments where it's like, oh, okay. Where the like daughter, the like not even teenage daughter of the guy who owns the shop is like having sex with who like are the guys? Are they like his business partners?
Just like
it's like
seems to be two
sort of like
men that he knows.
Yeah,
what their relationship is to each other is not clear and maybe not important, but it's just like another layer of
shady
like
sex trafficking thing that's going on with his daughter.
Yeah. Well, and
just another
so
layer.
He finds them having sex and he's like, oh, I'm gonna call the police, whatever. And then later in the movie, this is after some other things, but later in the movie, Tom Cruise goes back to the shop and to like return the costume, and he sees like that the two men and like the daughter coming out of the back, and like the man is like, oh, like, I'll see you guys later. And Tom Cruise was like, you were ready to call the police on them. Like, what happened? And he was like, oh, we like made it out. Yeah, we worked it out. Yeah. And it was like, okay.
Guys, I'm forgetting that this is this is only like half of, we've only begun to touch the surface of what Tom Cruise gets himself into.
Yeah.
But so Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise are fighting. The phone rings. Ring, ring, hello. It's for Dr. Tom Cruise, who's a doctor, don't forget.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
His patient has just died. Yeah. So they're like, can you come, like, the patient's daughter is like, can you come over? My like dad just died.
Yeah. This is a 3-hour long movie. It's 159 minutes. So yeah.
And so all while Tom Cruise is out doing these like this wild night of like sexcapades and whatever, Nicole Kidman thinks that he is at a dead patient's house, like waiting for the family of the bereaved, whatever, like to arrive.
Yeah.
And so she's like, let me know when you're going to get home or I'm just going to like go to bed.
Yeah. And he's meanwhile being insane.
Just like doing all types of, trying to like paying a hooker and then not even sleeping with the hooker and being like, keep the change. And then seeing his friend and then the friend is like, I know a place. And then he goes to the place and then, so much happens. Guys, I think the next song is kind of, I feel like, as all the songs are, is a good. It captures them. It like captures the movie.
Does it capture how Tom Cruise is perhaps a freak on a leash?
He's kind of a freak on a leash. And so our next song is "Freak on a Leash" by Korn. That was Red Light by Susie and the Banshees. And before that, we had Freak on a Leash by Korn. So we've talked about the party. I don't think we should give away too much about the party. If you haven't seen the movie,
it's pretty freaky. I would suggest watching it.
I would suggest watching Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah. Well, I would say so. It is the best Christmas movie.
It's up there. It's one
in
of
my opinion.
But let's talk about, do we want to talk about perhaps the aftermath of the party?
Yeah.
And relating to Tom Cruise and or Bill, I'm just going to keep calling him Tom Cruise because that's what he is.
Yeah.
Because he's playing himself.
That's what he is.
Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, and I think it's mostly, repercussions for Tom Cruise considering he is the one who attended the event. Mm-hmm. And then got in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I would say that he got in trouble.
Well, everyone's really mad at him because he's not invited, but he just shows up.
Yeah, he would.
He's like, I gotta see what this is all about.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, you have to like strip. But then there's a woman there who, well, one of many women there, but one of them specifically is like, no.
Is looking out.
Yeah, she's like, no.
I volunteer
as tribute. Don't make him strip. And then they take her away and they just like kick him out.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's happening there?
What's happening where?
No, I'm saying like, what's happening with that? And then he like leaves.
At first I thought you were asking me and I was like, so.
Sadie, tell me what's happening there.
So basically what's happening there? No. So yeah, he is not in the same elite as these people. Like when later on he is called to guy who had the party's house, and guy who had the party is like, I know what you are, I know what you've been up to, and you need to stop, or else like it's gonna have like there will be serious repercussions.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is like, I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I like don't do anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, you like really thought that like this is the type of thing where people pull up in limos, like they're helicoptered in, like whatever it is. It's like if I told you some of the people that were there, you would throw up, and you arrived in a taxi.
Yeah.
And asked the taxi person to wait outside for you, which when I was like, I was like, oh, Tom Cruise is made of money with all the money that he's just like giving away. It's like $200 over the rental price for the costume and then paying the hooker, even though he didn't get a service. Which, like, you know, what
he rips a $100 bill in half.
Yeah, like, just so much. Like, I thought, I was like, oh, he's literally made of money, because I could never spend such fare on on all these random things. But anyway,
and so I personally have a bit of a conspiracy around this movie and the making of this movie. Because of that, there's going to be like repercussions for you like trying to get involved with this and like discovering kind of the secret underbelly of the rich and famous. And so obviously this movie was very controversial for Stanley Kubrick to make. It deals with some very taboo themes that a lot of very important people wouldn't necessarily want to be talked about in the open. One group of which being the Church of Scientology, which lead actor Tom Cruise has a very sordid history with. Tom Cruise was in the Church of Scientology for a very long time and still is, but there was a period of time where he left, and that was during the filming of Eyes Wide Shut, actually.
Yeah.
Because when he married Nicole Kidman, she was like, I'm just not super into it. And basically his relationship to her took him away from the church. But there is specifically one guy in the Church of Scientology who was kind of Tom Cruise's boy best friend. And he was Tom Cruise's main connection. And so when Tom Cruise left, he was he's a very important person to this church. We can't lose him. So basically, for a while, every single person around Tom Cruise was like a mole for this guy because he was so obsessed with Tom Cruise. But then Tom Cruise got cast in this movie with his wife, Nicole Kidman, and the scheduling was crazy. Stanley Kubrick is known for very intense filming.
Putting his actors through the ringer.
Exactly. And not making it very hard basically for this guy to follow Tom Cruise. Oh, and so, of course, this is very inconvenient to the Church of Scientology, who want their little golden boy back. And the movie itself is also about certain themes that the Church of Scientology definitely has some history with. So Stanley Kubrick very famously died right before this movie was released. And personally, I believe that the Church of Scientology allegedly, is my belief, not the belief of WECB, that the Church of Scientology maybe killed Stanley Kubrick to stop the message of Eyes Wide Shut and also from getting out there and also to get their little golden boy Tom Cruise back.
And they only succeeded in one of those things, which if their main goal was to get Tom Cruise back, they succeeded. If their main goal was to silence Eyes Wide Shut, mission failed because, surprise, 24 years later, one Izzy Astuto has uncovered the mystery.
Well, it's truly...
So, gotcha. Church of Scientology?
So, basically, Church of Scientology, if you're listening...
You got
you got. Hit me up, bro.
They will maybe hit you in another manner.
Well, we'll find out.
If you keep talking.
But anyway, so that's my massive conspiracy around this movie. And so I think this is a fantastic movie. And I think it's also very interesting if you look at the actual real world implications.
If you look at it with the lens of Scientology, and then also like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman married in real life, and then like
OMG married in real life.
I actually think 100% of this movie is real.
I think it was all improv.
Yeah, it was actually all done in one take.
Yeah, this was one continuous take, just like
through New York City.
Yeah. Well,
and that's true.
And that's a rock fact.
Hey, what's our next song?
Guys, our next song is Hounds of Love by Kate Bush. That was Dreams by the Cranberries, and before that we had Hounds of Love by Kate Bush. So guys, we're getting towards the end-ish of our show, but let's talk about our last couple of songs. So both of those of those
were your songs, Sadie, weren't they?
I added So let's talk about dreams. I added dreams because, I'm constantly thinking about Dreams by the Cranberries, but it's been on my mind because, as Izzy said while we were listening to it, this is so dream scenario starring Nicolas Cage. And so I was like, that, since I have...
And these are the same movies.
Yeah, and the movies are so similar. No, it's the fact that, like, I just can't get over the fact that it's like, Nicole Kidman was like, oh, I had a thought, I had a fantasy about another guy, and then
dream,
and then he's like, I'm gonna go and cheat on you, and then he comes back and she's like, oh, I have an awful dream, and she's like crying and she feels so bad about it, and she had a dream where she cheated on him, and then he's like, oh, that's the last straw, I'm gonna go and like cheat on you again, like, but in real life. And then at the end, they're like, oh, you know, whatever, like whether it's dreams or whether you like actually did something, it's all fine and normal and it's all the same. And it's like, hey, no, it's not.
Well, it definitely isn't the same, but I do think her dream is so funny because she's like, oh, I had this dream that I was like having like sex with the like naval officer, and like, was it like multiple men? I like was having, and then like
and then all these different guys like started like joining in, and it was awful and it was terrible, and I just like couldn't stop myself. And she like burst into tears. And so it like I just like truly kind of, I mean, the whole movie is insane, but like the catalyst is, oh, you smoked weed and then your wife told you something you didn't want to hear. And so then you're like, I'm gonna like do after hours.
Yeah.
But like
normal reaction.
Well, I think this movie is so funny because if this is at all indicative of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's actual relationship, it kind of explains a lot, and I have a pretty good feeling it is.
I have a theory.
But that's just a theory.